For coming back to this workshop. This is Sleeping Success. I'm going to give you my top tips today for getting your best night's sleep ever. And who doesn't want that right now with the craziness of what's going on in our world? I'm sure a lot of us out there are feeling like really sleep deprived some nights. And a lot of that could be because you're watching too much news. So I guess that could be a tip for us today is maybe shut down the news here and there. Don't watch too much of it. Don't let your brain get all carried away with what's going on, because you got to take care of you. And this is all about health, vitality, weight loss, and more. Mental health, it's all just a good night's sleep away. So what I'm going to do is stop my video here and just show you my slides that I got for you and just let you know a little bit more about me. A lot of you guys already know from our last presentation that I do these corporate and community workshops to offices and businesses whenever they want a presenter to come and teach health and wellness. I'm happy to be there for them. I am a weight loss coach. My clients get phenomenal results working with me. So I do one-on-one clients and we do seasonal detoxes. I teach some fitness classes over at Mountainside Fitness. I went to, the top health coaching school in the world, which is in New York City. It's called the Institute for Integrative Nutrition. And I learned a lot there and I love it. All right. Someone needs a weight gain coach. Yes. Well, peanut butter and bananas at night before bed every night. Okay. All right. So here's my website right here. You can come find me also on Facebook at Traditional Table or just Heather Mitchell. Just come follow me. Let's be friends. And the intention for today's workshop is to show you how sleep could be the effect of your setbacks. So it could be the problem you might be gaining weight or lack of productivity. I want to teach you how to create the perfect sleep environment and also create an action plan to help you sleep better. So here we go. Sleeping Success. You guys are welcome to use the chat anytime. And of course, we'll stay active in there as well. I'll ask you some questions and you can just feel free to interact with each other right there in the chat box and I'll be able to see that too. So how much sleep do people need? Well, adults need 7 to 9 hours and growing kids is more like 10 to 12. They're still growing, their brains aren't developed and they need the sleep. So how many of you here are on that schedule where you're getting 7 to 9 hours of sleep? Can you post in the chat how many hours of sleep you're actually getting? I would love to see that. 7. Okay, I get about 7.5, 9, 8. Good. Well, you guys are all sleeping. That's good. Now you might not be getting like the good quality sleep that we want you to be getting. So we'll talk about that too today. So there's 2 different kinds of insomnia. Now, does anyone here have insomnia? Just post in the chat if you've had insomnia or you have insomnia, okay? Because we're going to talk about what insomnia is. There's nothing better than crawling into bed after a long day. It's incredible how rejuvenating a good night's sleep can be, but for many of us, a restful night isn't always guaranteed. So many adults, they're going to experience short-term insomnia, and that usually lasts just a few days or weeks at some point in their lives. If any of you have traveled and you've been in a different time zone, you've probably experienced some acute insomnia. Okay, so it's kind of hard to fall asleep and it's hard to stay asleep. You might be waking up too early. This short-term acute stuff is caused by stress, maybe even a traumatic event or changes in a schedule due to traveling, something like that, okay? On the other hand, there's long-term chronic insomnia, and that could last months or even more, and it's associated with mental health disorders, medical conditions, or medications. So, if somebody does have depression or anxiety, that's one of the first questions I ask is are you sleep deprived? How much sleep are you getting? Now, signs of insomnia include difficulty falling asleep, waking up during the night, waking up too early, feeling tired in the morning and throughout the day, irritability, depression, anxiety, difficulty paying attention or focusing, or constant worry about sleep. Okay, so have you had any of that going on? Let's talk about a word I learned in school called synchronicity. I love synchronicity. We want to sync our bodies up with nature. Now, if you are a night person, meaning you go to sleep after 10 p.m., and you wake up early, you're probably living off of your battery reserves. So it's time to sync up with nature. And this means going to bed when the sun goes to bed. Now, in the wintertime, it won't be that way, right? But in the summertime, it probably won't be that way either because sometimes that sun doesn't go to bed till well after 9 p.m. But we do typically want to be with nature. When the sun's going down, we go down. When the sun's coming up, we get up. And then we practice good sleep hygiene. So the best way to prevent insomnia is to develop good sleep habits. So this includes being consistent about your sleep patterns and creating a space that's optimal for rest. You got to be consistent with that. So try to go to bed and wake up at the same time each day, even if it's the weekend. Now, for me, this is about 9 p.m. to 5 a.m. Those are my sleep hours. Did you know that you have just as many hours in the morning as you do at night to get stuff done? So I choose to just go to bed early, early to bed, early to rise, and get my stuff done in the morning. My brain has rested and it feels more awake and alert and can think clearly. Now, eventually, you won't need that alarm clock because your body will automatically feel tired at the right time at night and it's going to wake up naturally in the early morning. Have any of you experienced that where you don't even need an alarm clock anymore? Will you type that in the chat box? I would love to see if anyone's synced up already. And your circadian rhythm, it's going to be right on track when you do sync up. So here's one of my tips here is to go for a morning walk barefoot, because barefoot walking is really, really good for your body to reset that circadian clock. You're gonna kind of get this magnetic pull from the earth that shoots up your body and really resets a lot of things in your body. Now, I know a lot of people don't like to go barefoot. Their brain gets carried away with, oh, people spit on the ground and this and that, and it's disgusting. But listen to me, the more barefoot you can go, you're going to actually build immunity and you're going to feel better and you will sleep better at night. So if you can get out in the early morning, right as the sun's coming up, or maybe an hour after it's kind of come up and it's warmed up just a little bit in the fall and winter times here, go for a quick little walk around your block and see if that doesn't help your sleep get better. Okay, that's a little tip from me. So we want to stop playing catch up, or that illness is going to catch up with you. So you got to prioritize your day. This is why I use calendars and I use planners, and I just kind of stick to what I write down and I prioritize my day. So I'm not trying to stuff in 100 things at the last minute. And as you start to prioritize your day, you're going to find that you actually can get a lot of stuff done, and you're going to feel more fulfilled because you're rested and you're sticking to your calendar, and that always feels good. So let's talk about the benefits here of a good night's sleep. So you get a boosted immune system and you're able to focus. You stabilize those hormones, therefore your mood. And I cannot read these last ones here. I'm trying to move this chat box out of my way. Hang on one second, guys. This Zoom is really crazy for me to see my slides with everyone's chats coming up. You'll accomplish more. You'll make better health choices for yourself, and one good choice leads to another, and then you're able to work harder in the gym. So I think that sleeping is self-care at its finest, for sure. And what are some benefits you've noticed with a good night's sleep? Post that in the chat right now. Let's see what you guys are experiencing with a good night's sleep yourself, okay? I want to hear about that. Now, what's happening when we sleep? Well, you aren't really sleeping deeply, okay, most of the time. There's going to be these 4 sleep stages you're going to go through. For sure, those hunger hormones are regulated, which is leptin and ghrelin, and that's what we want. So that's why we want to be sleeping through the night. Let's talk about those stages real fast. Stage 1 is the light sleep, and this only makes up 2% of your sleep time. This is when your muscles start to relax and your breathing starts to slow down, but you're still kind of awake. You're in that awake, but everything's slowing down type of stage. And this will only last about 5 to 10 minutes. And then there's stage 2. In stage 2, you're going to feel like you're falling asleep. So you may catch yourself or jump or jerk or wake up. Has that ever happened to you where you're jerking in your sleep? You're probably in stage 2. So the rhythmic brain waves are happening and the body temp and the heart rate will start to decrease. And stage 2 actually makes up 50% of your sleep. And that's a lot of your sleep. Okay. Stage 3 is that deep sleep. So it's the delta sleep, they call this. That's when growth hormone is released, and we got to have that growth hormone. It's the physical restoration. So stage 3 occurs in the first third of the night. So your brain is also filtering information like a file box. It's taking all the information and the thoughts that you've had and everything you've seen, and it's putting them kind of into these file boxes, all right? And then beauty sleep is also happening. So you're healing damage from the sun, you're helping with puffy eyes or dark circles, and that's always good because you will look more refreshed in the morning. You won't have as much of that, the bags under the eyes and the dark circles. That could be a genetic thing too, but the better sleep you're having, the fluids go to the places that need it the most, and it just helps with that. So sleeping helps with your beauty. That's good to know. And then stage 4 is the REM sleep, so the rapid eye movement sleep. This is your mental restoration. So we move information from short term to long term memory during this stage. Sometimes we're going to have those bizarre dreams from things that are just floating around up in our head. And that REM, that REM sleep, is the dreaming state. And your muscles become incredibly relaxed, kind of like paralysis. Your body almost does go into a paralysis. So you don't actually act out what's in your dreams. And this is going to be different from sleepwalking or talking in your sleep. But you'll kind of understand what's happening with your body because your muscles really become incredibly relaxed when you're in this deep sleep dreaming state. So this is stage 4. Now, how sleep deprivation affects you. Well, it puts you at risk for chronic conditions such as cardiovascular issues, arrhythmia, high blood pressure, or diabetes. And inadequate sleep, it's going to age you quicker. So we also have decrease in libido, so that sex drive. So if you're deprived, chances are you're not in the mood for loving. And that's because studies trace lack of sleep directly to lower libido in both men and women due to the lack of energy, frustration, and stress. And for men with sleep depriving conditions like sleep apnea, their testosterone, which is the sex hormone, those levels may actually decrease. Oh, that's what's going on with my husband. I can hear some of you women. Okay, just tell your man he's got to get more sleep. That's what's going on. Okay, sleep loss can lead to some weight gain. So if you snooze, you lose when it comes to sleep and maintaining a healthy body weight. Why? If you don't snooze, you lose. Well, this makes sense that sleep deprivation can lead to poor, sugar-rich, high-fat, processed food choices. We've seen this over and over again. When you're robbed of sleep for a few days in a row, you're more likely to succumb to hunger and convenience foods while having little energy for exercise, which inevitably leads to weight gain. Okay. And the lack of sleep causes depression. So you're surely going to feel more helpless and frustrated and overwhelmed after multiple sleep deprived nights. However, if you have chronic sleep conditions, again, like sleep apnea, studies show that you're more likely to become depressed as a result. And in 2005, sleep studies actually found that individuals diagnosed with clinical depression sleep an average of 6 hours a night or less. So we got to work on that, especially if you know somebody with clinical depression. Give them this information to maybe work on their sleep. Okay, so sleep loss is going to rob us of cognitive thinking as well. And you have to admit that you don't function well after a night of poor sleep. So work and school, those things often suffer as a result. And that's because sleep fuels our cognitive processes, and lack thereof will decrease attention span, mental alertness, focus, concentration, thinking, communication, learning, and reasoning abilities. Then, of course, you might get in an accident because if you're sleep deprived, that does cause accidents. And it's tragic how many car accidents are caused by sleep deprived drivers, and injuries on the job are caused by exhausted workers. Have any of you seen that happen before in your life, where maybe you or someone you know was driving, they fell asleep? You've heard the stories before, or possibly on the job, something happened and they had an accident because they were sleep deprived. We all hear those stories. So Yeah, I came close to that once in my college years. It's pretty scary when you are driving and you can feel your brain start to slip a little bit. You're getting more and more sleepy. You got to make the decision right there to just pull over and sleep at the side of the road until you can really gain some energy back and alertness to get back on the road, because that is a dangerous, dangerous thing. So let's create the perfect sleep environment, shall we? How do we do this? Well, there are blackout curtains, and I do love blackout curtains. Who has blackout curtains? Just post it in the chat right now. Blackout curtains are good because, of course, the darker your room is, the deeper you're going to sleep. However, it is harder to wake up. And so that's why I recommend that you have some kind of alarm clock that has a natural light that illuminates your room as it turns on. Have you seen those before? Those are really good to have if you're going to have some blackout curtains. A next thing might be like an essential oil detox bath, and you could do some lavender, some Epsom salt, of course, and some peppermint and lemon. That's going to be really relaxing to get your body wound down for the night and just relaxed. Who takes baths here? If you're not taking baths, start taking some baths, okay? I think that's a good idea. White noise. Now, this is one not many people actually tell me that they're doing. They're not putting a fan in their room for white noise, or they don't use a white noise machine or anything like that. I don't know how you guys do it. I've just always grown up with white noise, I guess, to fall asleep. So it's hard for me even to travel, sleep at someone's house if they don't have a fan or something. I have to have that white noise. But now we have our phones, which have white noise apps on them, and ways for us to sleep better because of that white noise. And you'll get used to it. At first, it's hard. You can't stand it. But then you get used to it and you start to really love it, and you can't sleep without it because you hear every little noise, the dog barking, whatever. I don't want to hear stuff. I want to make sure that I'm in a deep sleep. So white noise is a must for me. And then, of course, experts say that the temp in your house is best between 63 and 67 degrees for optimal sleep. That's pretty cold, huh? Okay, so someone's asking, what is white noise? Well, white noise is actually just the sound of a fan, like the hum of a fan. Or you've probably seen those sound machines that make noise. So it just really sounds like a fan going in your room that's really, really loud. So if you have noise going in your room, like a fan, like I have a box fan from Walgreens, you guys, it's ghetto, but I love it because it has the best white noise sound. And I can't sleep until that thing turns on. So that's what white noise is. Okay, so we want to keep a nice cold raindrops. Yeah, like a fast raindrop would be good. We want to keep a nice cold room, and they also make things called like a chillo, like a cold pillow. And they also make a quilt now, like a pad you put under your body that you sleep on, and you can dial it down and it gets really cold and helps drop your body temperature. You'll sleep better with those chilled pads too. Okay, and then which one are you already using, you guys? Tell me, what do you use in your room to help you calm down at night and to help you get a good night's sleep? Any of those? I'd love to know. Another thing experts say not to do is to have electronics in your room. Now, how many of you are sleeping with your cell phone right next to your bed? Go ahead, pop it in the chat. Let's see. Let's call you out right now. Yeah. Okay. I sleep alone. Okay. James is sleeping alone, you guys. You could get an animal, but that's one of my tips, is not to sleep with animals in there because they can wake you up in the night too, can't they? And that could be a problem. So sleeping alone, and maybe not having your electronics. If you're going to have your phone next to your bed, definitely put it on airplane mode, especially with the 5G coming out. I always put my cell phone on airplane mode, and you'll still have your alarm. Come on. You know what I say to myself? If someone's dead, I will just find out in the morning. They are not going to be buried and put away, before I get to them. And if it's my child, I'm pretty sure someone's going to come knocking at my door. That is how literally I protect my sleep. I know it's probably not what you guys want to hear, but I think the electronic free zone is important. However, I also do have a TV in my bedroom because, sometimes we like to watch a movie and then we shut it down and we read books before bed. But, To each their own. They say don't have a TV in your room. I do have a TV on sometimes on YouTube and playing rain noise. Yeah. So, some sleep expert, I've listened to one sleep expert and he said, I'm probably the only one who says it's okay to have the TV on to fall asleep to. People can fall asleep. Everyone's sleep situation is different and people can fall asleep with the TV on and get into a deep sleep. I think they just need the noise. If you're going to do that, I would just put a timer on your TV because a lot of TVs now have timers and it will just shut off. Okay. Okay, this is a very good tip. I like this one. Get yourself some nighttime glasses. These are blue blocking glasses. So when evening time starts to come and you still got lights on and screens on, if you just slip on a pair of glasses like this, I mean, they're not the most attractive, right? But it will help to produce more melatonin. You're going to sleep better at night because you're not letting that blue light get in. So let's see if I can just quickly show you mine here because I've got a pair right here. These are blue blocking glasses and I wear them every time I'm looking at a screen. And I'm sure you guys as real estate agents and whatever you do from home, you probably are looking at a screen. So I keep these glasses on because they help block the blue light and help me with eye fatigue and things like that. And so that's why I like them. But that's what I would suggest doing is getting yourself a pair of these blue blocking glasses for nighttime. All right, whoop. Next slide here. I brought this participants up and now I can't see my slide again. Sorry guys, let me get out of that. Okay, we wanna clear the clutter. Whose bedroom looks like this? Be honest. How can you sleep in a bedroom like this? Okay, we've gotta fix this. So if you have corners of your room that are just piling up, the energy of your stuff, just the energy alone of all your stuff is going to cause you not to be able to sleep good at night. Okay. So listen, I know we all have stuff on our floor right now, maybe one or two things, but let's get in the habit of going to bed with a clean room. Okay. Maybe something that looks like this. I mean, how good do we sleep in a hotel, guys? It's something about their sheets and the way that it's clean and it smells fresh and it's crisp. Yeah, it just seems amazing. So you want to be able to create an environment that's conducive to a good night's sleep that helps you feel good. So make 2021 your year to redecorate your room and maybe paint some colors that help to relax and soothe you and get a little corner going where you have fresh flowers and a chair like this, a reading corner, and your room's vacuumed and looks nice, right? That's going to help you sleep good and sleep deep. That's what I think. Try it. And next up, maybe you try a class. If you go to meetup.com, they always have these yoga sound therapy classes where they're bathing you with all of these sounds that help to, I don't know, balance out your body from these different tones and things that they do. And so I did a class for about an hour and it was really relaxing. It was really good. I slept really good that night. They call this sound healing. Okay, so just so you know, classes like this do exist right here in your neighborhood. You'll want to read books instead of watch TV before bed because that's going to help you fall asleep. Okay, what about water before bed? Do you think that's a good idea? Well, if you said yes, the answer is no, because who gets up in the night to go to the bathroom 2 or 3 times? That's not fun. That's going to get us, that could possibly get us out of the stage 3 or 4 sleep, the good sleep that we need, right? And so we don't want to fill our bladder up right before bed. So I always tell my clients, 2 hours before bed, just cut off the liquids. But about at that 2-hour time or 3-hour time before bed, maybe we were sipping on some chamomile tea or some kind of sleepy time tea, all right, that helps to relax us too and sleep better at night. Yep. So this is one of my favorite tips here is to change your diet. You're going to change your sleep. So what if we eat more foods that have tryptophan? And tryptophan's not spelled with an F, it's a PH. N-O-Y, I spelled that wrong. Tryptophan is a precursor for melatonin, you guys. So if we can have more foods with tryptophan in them, and I'm going to show you some of those foods, okay, in just a second, then that's going to help produce more melatonin. If your liver is detoxed. You'll know your liver's not working so well when your skin starts to break out a lot and you're constipated. We know we've got some problems with the liver. So make sure you're doing some liver stuff too to help with that. So dark green leafy vegetables, of course, I'd like to do a hot lemon water in the morning. And just eating lots of greens, eating healthy, cleaning out your body, okay? Not eating a lot of fast food. So tryptophan, okay, here's some tryptophan foods: wild caught salmon, turkey. Thanksgiving Day when you eat all that turkey and now you're ready for a nap, that's a high tryptophan food. Eggs, yogurt's a good one for some minerals in there and some spirulina. Here's some other fruits that are going to help you sleep at night, like that chamomile tea. Cottage cheese, okay, oats are a good one. Almonds, sweet potatoes, bananas, and grapes. All of these have been known. No, not wine, okay? Okay, all of these have been known to help you get a good night's sleep. So here's a tip is to boil a banana peel and drink the water because it's high in magnesium. That is a tip of the pros right there. Write that down. Boil a banana peel and drink the water, okay? Because it's high in magnesium and your body is probably lacking magnesium. I see that a lot. Actually, that's one of the first things I tell clients when they're having problems with headaches or anything. I'm like, you need your electrolytes. Go get some magnesium right now. Start working on that magnesium, okay? So change your lifestyle, change your sleep. Let's talk about lifestyle then. How about exercise? How often are we moving and when are we moving? Okay, I do teach some classes like water. I used to teach water aerobics over at the Galveston Lakes Clubhouse, but then COVID happened and they shut that down for people who don't live in that neighborhood anymore. But getting in the water, if you have access to a heated pool, that's one of the best ways you can move your body. It's low impact and swimming's really great for your body. You can get all planes of motion in the water. Okay, so do some of that. And then of course, do some recovery stuff with your foam roller, some tennis balls, some self massage. I do teach those classes at the Mountainside Fitness on Saturdays. Doing some meditation and yoga is always, always helpful. Okay. Getting yourself a standing desk instead of sitting down all day, because sitting is not great. So if you can raise your desk up, get yourself a standing desk, that's going to be really great. And you might not even notice the changes that are happening, but you'll probably burn more calories and lose some weight from just standing up more instead of sitting down so often. And then of course, going on hikes and walking in nature, moving your body in nature is one of the best things you can do. That's what I think. Now, as far as exercise goes for your sleep, don't go put in a heavy workout 4 hours before you're going to go to bed. So if you're an evening workout person, you got to really try to switch that up to the morning hours, or no later than 4 hours before you're going to go to bed, okay? Because that's going to mess with your sleep a little bit. So keep all of that in mind and keep moving your body. Okay, this is another tip I love. This is what I teach my people, is to do more gut smashing. And gut smashing is simply, you have a squishy ball. You've probably seen those squishy balls at Walmart in the kids section, $2 or $3 ball that's squishy and bouncy, about this size here. You just let some air out of it just a little bit, and then you lay on it and you inhale and exhale and relax your body over, and then just start moving your hips side to side. It's going to massage your diaphragm. It's going to help to stimulate that parasympathetic nervous system to relax you and calm you down. It's going to ease any tension in your low back. So I always suggest people do some gut smashing. It's going to help with circulation and help you breathe better too. So do some gut smashing, try it and see what you think. It doesn't feel good. And then of course I move it above my belly button, so it's right below my rib cage. I go side to side from that angle. I go below my belly button, go side to side there, and it really helps with that diaphragm muscle. Kind of get in there and massage that. Okay. What about sleeping pills, marijuana, alcohol to put us to sleep? What do you guys think? I'd love to hear your thoughts on this one in the comment section. post anything you think about this here. I'd love to hear it. But you probably just want me to tell you. So personally, I can't condone taking sleeping pills or smoking marijuana or drinking alcohol as a means to put you to sleep. Why? Why wouldn't I want that for you? Well, these more likely put you into a coma state instead of a REM sleep. Okay. Instead of the rapid eye movement sleep, it's putting you into a coma. Could be addictive. You're right. If you're using supplements like these to put you to sleep, here's what I suggest. I suggest backing off little by little until you can come off. And as you get your body to a healthy state with diet and exercise, guess what? The need for medical drugs and alcohol for sleep will completely diminish. And wouldn't it be nice to feel like you don't need anything to put you to sleep? You don't need to be addicted to anything. It's such a freeing feeling. And this is what our bodies, they ultimately want this. This is what they need. This is what they were created to do. And in such a way that they have all the building blocks they need to function without these stimulants. Okay. So this brings me to my next tip then. Are you a slave to coffee? Post that in the chat box. Do you feel, how many coffees a day do you have? How much coffee do you think you're drinking? So can you live without coffee? That's a hard one, huh? Or are you a slave to the cup each morning to keep you going and throughout the day? And wouldn't you love to not be a slave to anything? So if it were me, I would slowly try to kick the addiction of coffee. It just makes sense in my mind to free yourself of anything you feel you have to have. At the minimum, maybe at the maximum, limit your intake to 2 small cups a day if you have to have any at all. And for sure, don't drink past 2 p.m. Okay, don't drink past 2 p.m. Okay. So here's a tip then that's going to help you coffee drinkers. Drink 20 ounces of water upon waking up. In the sun while walking, preferably, would be awesome. And if you wait 90 minutes after waking up before you drink that coffee, and you're drinking that 20 ounces of water out in the sun, and then you drink your coffee 90 minutes later, you're going to get a great burst of energy right there. Okay. But this is something you're going to have to practice and try it a few times, and then we'll see how you feel. That is Health Coach Heather's suggestion right there today. So take that tip. Here's a good one here. Take a cold shower. Who takes cold showers? Cold showers, they're hard to do, so hard. So here's what I suggest. Jump into a hot shower, but then the last 30 seconds of your shower, turn it to cold and just take some deep breaths. This is going to reset that nervous system. It will help you sleep better at night. It's a shock to the nervous system. You need that shock. It's going to really help you stay healthy and boost that immune system too. So if you can get to the point where maybe your showers are, 3 minutes hot, 1 minute cold, 3 hot, 1 cold. And then you start working your way into a little bit more, or you know how people do jump in a cold pool, right? They'll go jump in a cold pool, they'll swim a lap, and then they'll go get in a sauna. The hot and colds together are so therapeutic, so good for you. So even if you were able to go on a retreat somewhere where they did hot and cold therapy, that would be awesome. That should be your next wellness retreat. Go look that up. They have a place in Minnesota called Fire and Ice, and they have a therapy for that. So, all right. So here's another thing. Are you in a challenging situation? What's a challenging situation? What if a child's keeping you up at night? Who's got children who are doing this? Could you possibly allow them to put themselves back to sleep instead of tending to their every need? Now, I always found it best to get my babies on the same sleep schedule as me just as soon as possible. And that was usually around 3 to 4 months of age. But this meant letting them cry it out a few nights until they figure out the sleep pattern in our home. And yes, it was very hard. And that child has a terrible haircut, yes, and needs a better one. Thanks for your comments there. Yes. So here's another situation. Do you have a night job? Okay, if you have a job where maybe you're working this night shift, is it possible to ask for a different shift or change careers? And if that's not possible, then I sure hope you're getting your 7 to 9 hours of sleep during the day. So use those blackout curtains, use that white noise. Those are going to be key. But what if you're in chronic pain? Well, it's time to find out the root cause of your pain. And again, start with cleaning up your diet. So, green juice every morning for you, and up your dose of fish or krill oil. Do an anti inflammatory diet or come work with me. I'm going to help you get that way. And I bet within a month of solid clean eating consistently, you're going to see some relief. But you got to do the work. So, I know a lot of people want the quick, easy pill fix, but if you can get to the root problem, it's, this is long term, people. Okay, so this is your long term health. It's not going to be easy, but boy, it's going to be worth it. And think of all the money you'll save from not buying drugs for pain, although you might need pain meds in the beginning. Okay. Here's my take on vitamin water. If you're going to be drinking vitamin water, you better check that sugar content, because remember, we divide any grams of sugar in that thing by 4. That's how many teaspoons in there. And I bring vitamin water to my workshops, my sugar workshops, and it's loaded with sugar. So just keep that in mind. Look at the different ones and see which one has the lowest sugar if you're drinking vitamin water, if you're going to drink it at all. And don't let it replace your regular water intake for the day. Okay. So what about this one? Menopause. Who's going through that? Those can lead to some very, very uncomfortable things in your body. So if you need some help with menopause, there's a lot of natural remedies. I even do a menopause workshop, so I can help you. You just know that there's ways you can relieve the symptoms just by cleaning up your diet, getting some exercise, and you're going to clean out that gut. Things will start to balance better. Okay, do the cold showers too before bed. That's going to help. Okay, so a 90-minute pre-sleep routine will be awesome. And here's what I suggest. Get yourself some Celtic or Himalayan or Redmond's real salt and drink some in a little bit of water, or maybe just put some under your tongue before bed, because it has like 92 minerals in it, like a lot. So that's going to help you sleep better at night. Now you can minimize that blue light. So turn phone to airplane mode at night. Put on those night glasses I told you about. Move from hot to cold showers. Do some static stretching for the hip flexors, especially. You carry a lot of stress in your hips, especially ladies. So if we can do some hip flexor stretching and some gut smashing to stimulate that parasympathetic nervous system, awesome. Read a book that's not too intense of a book, for 45 minutes. So maybe you don't pick up John Grisham, because that's going to be more of a thriller, right? Can you read something more calming that kind of puts you to sleep? Like your scriptures, right? That'll put you out. 4, 7, 8 breathing. So we inhale for 4, we hold the breath for 7 seconds, and we exhale the breath for 8 seconds. Okay, and you do 4 cycles of that. Inhale for 4, hold for 7, exhale for 8. And you'll feel your body starting to calm down and to relax. This is especially helpful if you have anxiety and your chest starts to tighten and you're short of breath, or you're just feeling it coming on. Do some of that 4, 7, 8 breathing. When lights are off, I am going to meditate and do some 3D breathing. Okay, now this is just where I'm breathing all the way up my torso into the sides of my stomach and just filling those lungs with air and then letting it out. So that 4, 7, 8 will be good. Do some visualizations, how I want my day to go the next day and some goals I want to achieve. And then, if nothing else, some progressive muscle relaxation helps. So flexing and then relaxing the muscles. You can flex and extend the calves. You can flex and relax the quads, flex and relax the hamstrings. If you start to flex and relax all these muscle groups, maybe engage the muscle for 3 seconds and then relax for 3 seconds, your body starts to really relax. Okay, so try doing that. Now, what if you want to take a nap? We'll keep it short, 15 to 20 minutes. So set a timer, and the perfect nap occurs between 1 and 3 p.m. in the afternoon. If you've ever traveled out of our country, you'll know that some of those South American countries, they take what we call a siesta from 1 to 3 in the afternoon. And that's because your body does release some kind of sleepy chemical too at this time, where you actually want to rest and relax. But when you start sleeping 1 hour or 2 hours, it's almost like your body begets more sleep. It wants more and more and more. So if you can set a timer, 15 to 20 minutes. I also learned that after lunch, if you just lie on your left side for just 10 minutes, and then you go for a 15 to 20 minute walk outside, you just feel like your body's it's flowing well. It's really good and you have more energy throughout the day. Yeah, every job should allow a nap time. So who's ever in charge at your work, let's bring that up with the boss, okay? We need a meditation nap room for you guys. If there's a dark room with some yoga mats and pillows, that's what you need. That's what you need. Okay. Keep a notepad by your bed for all your ideas. Because who gets tons of ideas at night? I do, and I'm always like, oh, I should do this. This would be a good thing. I gotta call this person tomorrow. Sometimes my best ideas start coming on in the middle of the night. So keep that notepad by your bed just in case. Okay. This is a good read. This is going to be the next read here for you guys. The myth of 8 hours. Maybe you don't need 8 hours. Maybe your body is different. Maybe we talk a little bit more about those power naps and we create a plan to recharge your body and your mind. So if you want to learn more from an elite sports sleep coach, this is a good book, Sleep. Okay. I saw this cute sign once on a church I was driving by when I was in high school. I never forgot it. When you can't sleep at night, don't count sheep. Talk to the shepherd. Boy, do we need to be doing that more right now in our country, don't we? So that'll put you to sleep right away too. Just start talking to God about all your problems. Let's recap here. Some of my tops. No coffee after 2 p.m. Get that early morning sunlight. Get yourself some blue light blocking glasses. Prepare your environment for optimal sleep. Eat a good diet with tryptophan foods. Exercise, but not within 4 hours of going to bed. Start a bedtime routine 90 minutes before bed. Stop watching so much news, you guys. That is causing all kinds of sleep deprivation for people because of the worry and fear that they're feeling. I bet if you never watched the news, you wouldn't have a clue there was a virus. You wouldn't have a clue there were problems. You might hear it from someone who's up at Capitol, but if you didn't have TV, I bet you we wouldn't even know stuff's going on right now. So, what are 1 or 2 things that you can implement today to get more sleep tonight? I want to hear it. Post it in the chat. What are 1 or 2 things that you'll take away from this that you will do tonight? Okay, no alcohol. Good. That's a very good one. Keep that one in mind. No sugar before bed would be good. Boil some banana peels and drink a cup of that water that it's been boiled in for that magnesium. That's a very good one. How will you create your sleep environment, you guys? What's your bedrooms going to start having in them, or what are they going to feel like and look like? This is important. Eat tryptophan foods. Now, sometimes people ask me about the mattress. Well, what mattress should I get? Well, go try out some mattresses. I love my purple mattress. I find it to be really comfortable, but it did take me literally 4 to 6 months to get used to that mattress. But now I love that mattress. It's a little bit firmer than others. Of course, Sleep by Number, people like that one. I like anything that's cotton or organic materials for a mattress. I think are really good mattresses. Okay, so if you want to, you have some weight to lose, I suggest you come get coached. This is going to help you mentally and physically. You're going to sleep better. So here's just some clients who, work at their weight and they feel great and amazing. And this happens fairly quickly. So if you want to work with a coach or somebody who does to get themselves in a healthier place, let's do it. Let's do it. Okay. So thank you so much for coming, you guys. You can find me on Facebook. Look for Heather Mitchell. You can find me at healthcoachheather.com. I also have a blog called Healthy Families Rule, where you can sign up for a weekly newsletter if that's your thing. But I'm looking forward to our next chat together. So if you want to talk about how you can reduce your stress levels, maybe some stress busters, we can talk about that. We can talk about screen addiction and how to overcome that. There's so many things we can talk about for your health and well-being. So if you think of anything, I'm happy to put together a webinar for you on any topic that would help you guys, okay? Yes, I would like to meet all of you. When we can get back together in person, maybe we do it in person next time, huh? So thank you guys so much. If you have any questions, let me know. Pop it in the chat. I think we got everyone. Your comments were great. You guys are a great group of people. But that's all I have for you today. Hope you enjoyed that.
Thank you, Heather.
Yes, we do run some detoxes too, but I'm just gonna go ahead and exit my screen here and stop my screen share. And I hope to see you guys another time. So thanks for coming on.
Yep.
Thank you very much.
Thanks.
Hey, you're very welcome. Bye-bye, guys.